Welcome back to Hannity. Tonight, we continue our GOP debate preview with another look into what voters really think about the different Republican candidates running for president. Now, just days ago, we sent our team of producers to capture a focus group hosted by our friend Frank Luntz in the important state of New Hampshire, where Republican voters sounded off about the GOP field. Now, take a look at how the focus group reacted to former Florida Governor Jeb Bush.
We don't want a hand-selected, here's your guy. He's got a lead and he's got money.
How is he hand-selected?
He's the establishment choice. He's the establishment choice. They want a Jeb Bush-Rubio ticket. And they'll do anything they can to get it.
He's a progressive. He's a rhino. He's on his
Wait. He's a progressive?
He's a progressive.
Jeb Bush.
Yes.
Pro-choice.
Why is he so progressive?
I think he's progressive because he has so many. He's at the border, the immigration. I think he's too progressive on that.
He's a big government guy. I mean, he might have been a little bit fiscally sound when he was down in Texas, but you know what? He's a big government, Florida, excuse me, a big government guy, and he's pro-choice, and he's an absolute establishment candidate who got all his bucks through big PACs.
Do you have a problem with Jeb Bush?
The country needs a stronger conservative president, and he's just not it.
I have a problem with him because he just seems insincere compared to the other candidates. He's checking notes. He doesn't really seem like he's got a belly full of fire compared to the other candidates.
Yeah, I don't feel he's really engaged, and I just think a Bush-Clinton ticket is just more of the same.
I don't think that he deserves all the criticism that he's receiving, because if you look at his record as Florida governor, he has been conservative. He's just not inspiring.
But he's the poster child for the establishment candidate, and I'm tired of the establishment.
Here now with analysis, the man behind the focus group, pollster Frank Luntz. That was pretty harsh.
Yeah, if you're labeled establishment, it's even worse than being labeled a moderate in these days. They want someone who they themselves choose, and they don't want to feel like that choice is foisted on them. And the second aspect for Jeb Bush, they like him as a person. We didn't hear any of that in this conversation, but they really do like him as a person. They're not convinced that he's tough enough, and that's what they're really looking for. Someone's going to really take it to Hillary Clinton in the fall.
All right, he did get high marks on the issue of reforming the VA. Let's roll that tape.
Veterans died while waiting for care at the VA hospital last year, but only 2 people were fired for lying about the wait times. 2 people. We trust veterans. We trusted them to fight for us. We should trust them to be able to choose their own doctor, and reforming VA will be a high priority.
All right, strong ratings, not off the charts, but pretty solid.
Yeah, but he's got to stop reading his speeches.
Yeah,
whoever is working with him has to get in front of him and say, I'm sorry, Governor, no more reading. You're going to speak from the heart, and you're going to be a better communicator for it.
You know, Frank, I did one teleprompter speech in my life. It was the worst speech I ever gave. I take a microphone, I might throw down a few notes, and that's it. Talk from your heart. I agree with you. Very important. You had the focus group comparing and contrasting Donald Trump and Jeb Bush. I thought this shot was pretty interesting. Let's roll this tape.
Who is more conservative, Jeb Bush or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
Jeb Bush.
Who thinks Jeb Bush? Who thinks Donald Trump? Seriously?
Seriously?
Yes.
I mean, that's significant.
Are you talking fiscally conservative or socially?
Just overall. Most of you think Donald Trump is to the right of Jeb Bush.
Yes.
That's incredible.
You know, it's interesting because Donald Trump was a businessman. He supported a lot of candidates, basically anybody who's running, I would argue, probably from a business standpoint. That seemed to surprise you. Why?
Because Donald Trump has been, if you take a look at his history, the things that he has written and the things that he has said, he's been in a lot of places on a lot of issues. And Jeb Bush has been very consistently a conservative. Yeah. Donald Trump proves to me the Paul Simon theory of politics. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. It's all about tone, Sean. It's about Trump being aggressive, Trump being a fighter. To them, they equate that with conservatism.
You know what's
they don't
interesting?
Really know where he stands on the issues. Go ahead.
If you look at Governor Bush's record, it was conservative as governor, but the issues of immigration and Common Core cut so deep, plus coupled with his last name. Obviously, those are the 3 issues he's struggling with in all of this. Let me go. There was sort of mixed reaction to Senator Ted Cruz. He's been outspoken. He's been bold. He took on his own party. asked them to literally repeal Obamacare. They abandoned him. Let's go to that tape.
I don't find anything favorable about him. What I find him as is as a first-term U.S. Senator running for president. We went through that process 8 years ago. Look at what we got.
Do you think Ted Cruz is the same guy as Barack Obama?
No. Constitutional conservative. He has a proven record that we can vet, and he is a wonderful communicator, and we haven't had one of those since Ronald Reagan.
He stood up on the floor of the Senate and talked all that time. He almost caused a government shutdown. We did not need that. It hurt the Republican Party.
He's one of the few senators that went to Washington to fight Obamacare, and he's doing it. The rest surrendered.
I like that he's so principled, but I worry about him working with Democrats.
I don't care.
I don't think Democrats.
You don't care.
The Democrats aren't going to work with the Republicans, so it's not necessarily a big deal.
He knows he's not well liked in Washington, but he's willing to speak up. And because of what he did, they won more seats in 2014.
I think she's right. I think because he took a stand, that's why people like him.
That's why people like him. The challenge for Ted Cruz is not just to demonstrate that he's smart, everyone knows it, or that he's conservative, every Republican knows it. He has to demonstrate that he can defeat Hillary Clinton by being principled, by being focused, by being intense. And that's a challenge. New Hampshire voters, make no mistake, they are principled conservatives, but they desperately want to win, and they want to vote for someone who they know can beat Hillary Clinton.
All right, we have Scott Walker, we have more Donald Trump, and we have Chris Christie, more of Frank Luntz right after the break, but coming up next.
They pulled all the stops to keep him away. They're afraid of him. They went to his parents' house. They went to his house. They protested. They picketed. And they closed down the State House. But he continued the course, and that's what we need.
We have more New Hampshire focus group voters giving their opinions coming up next. And then later, another undercover Planned Parenthood video has now been released. And like the others, it is very damning. This probably the worst of all. Stay with us.